time when...
She wishes I drank more
No.
and drove a car.
No, I wish that when you did drink...
I had some LSD before we started doing this, and you've barely been able to notice it. Three, annoying about you is that you're better at sport than me. I find that very difficult. I find that very, very... That does not sit well. You were a better footballer than me when I was growing up, and better at tennis, and better at running, and better at all sports.
Did I manifest this? Did I beat you? Was I sort of... I mean, that makes it sound like I was a pretty lame mother if I was thinking, yes, I'm going to beat my children.
No, but I was just very aware that you were better at sport than me. And I think it would have been nicer if, on occasions, you had displayed a more feeble side. And I got to give it to him on that front. Michael Whitehall is a wonderful father.
Well, I, of course, was trying to probably overcompensate.
Ever made me feel inadequate about my sporting ability. He gave me a huge, huge confidence in it.
Except, of course, the one thing he's very good at, and I've discovered to my cost particularly...
Greco-Roman wrestling.
No.
That's that one where you cover yourself in oil and grapples.
He's bloody good at table tennis.
Table tennis.
Whiff waff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good at that. Yeah. That and the wrestling, which he does with Nigel Havers sometimes in the garden.
I'll tell you the other thing he's very good at.
You'll cover them both in sunflower oil and they'll just go at it for a couple of hours.
Yeah, I mean, my memory of him in wrestling, of course, is the fact that he loathed you lot all loving wrestling as children.
I think that might be the only sport that I would be better than you at is wrestling.
It's not something I ever would have probably tried with you.
No, but if you'd been a proper tiger mum, that could have been something that we could have explored as an avenue.
Okay.
But instead I was in my room cleaning out that recorder of spit.
Now, of course, knackered, so knackered. I can't do sports. So now you've got your own way. You're better at sport than me now. So number 4.
Yep.
Why can't you drive?
Oh my God.
Why can't you drive? I mean, number 1, I have to drive you round to all your gigs all the time.
Not anymore.
Well, not until very recently. But the number of times I've had, Mumza, do you know where Chertsey is? And I go, yes, I've got a gig there in an hour. Could you give me a lift?
How can we have that conversation if I don't answer the phone to you?
No, you've rung me.
Okay. On that occasion.
Well, because that's when you do ring me, is when you need something.
Right, I'm sorry, Mummy, I've got to go. This man in the urinal is getting very angry.
Didn't ring me then.
Should have.
Why can't you drive?
One word. The environment. That's 2 words. Environment. Environmental reasons, that is why I don't drive, because I want to ensure that there is a world where my great-great-great-grandchildren and your great-great-great-great-grandchildren know what a polar bear is.
Okay. 2 words. Electric car.
1 word. 2 words. Good point.
Okay, so...
Oh, this is one linked to driving.
Is this number 4?
4 for you.
Yeah.
The Archers, and I'm just going to throw that out there as a topic. My childhood... The trauma of being stuck in the back of your car, driving back to boarding school, listening to a crackling radio as we went in and out of reception through the countryside, having to listen to those idiotic, like West Country inbreds bleating about poorly cows, and the omnibus as well, which was like...
Love it.
You got the Archers, which is just... torture, and then you've got the never-ending torture of the omnibus, and feeling sick in the back of the car, and that theme music and the ludicrous storylines.
Can I just say, I will confess that not only do I listen to the Archers, I now listen to it on a podcast when I'm walking the dog, but I quite often will listen to the omnibus at the end of the week as well for a second time in case I've missed anything.
It's so boring.
I love it.
Why didn't they spice it up like that?
Well, they have. Daddy always comes in and they're talking about gay marriage or something. He says, I thought this was a tale.
I'm talking about like The Walking Dead, like one of them should get bit by a zombie and then they should take it off in a more interesting direction. Or
it's based on
Game
reality.
of Thrones, that needs some dragons and inbreeding. Or it's probably got the inbreeding. And these dragons.
I will not have a word said
sequences.
against Ambridge. I love Ambridge.
Okay.
I mean, it is like my spiritual home, Ambridge.
Well, I think it needs to be invaded by some White Walkers.
No way. I'll be there defending it. Quite often, Daddy says to me if you couldn't have television and radio, you had to pick one or the other, what would you pick? I always say radio because of the Archers. I'd far rather have the radio.
That's very weird.
Well, I suppose it's a generational thing. Okay, this is my last one now, and this is going back to something that you touched on, and that is that you're such a lightweight when it comes to alcohol. I'm not suggesting that I want you to drink more, but literally you have half a glass of Prosecco and you're almost incoherent.
Okay.
I mean, many's the time that... Do you remember the time when...
she wishes I drank more
No.
and drove a car.
No, I wish that when you did drink, you didn't just literally lose it so quickly. Because you are a young man of a certain age, and you do like to have a drink, and it just gets very messy quite quickly. And then quite often,
but
in the past,
I will say,
the mess.
I can take a lot of drugs and they don't touch the sides.
Jack Whitehall.
I had some LSD before we started doing this, and you've barely been able to notice it.
I'm speechless. Speechless. I just want to relate the story. The worst time that I ever got caught out with your lightweightness was 3 a.m. in the morning in our old house. You were about 19, so you were sort of back from university just before you moved out. There was a sort of 6-month period where you came back home like a boomerang kid. And 3 a.m, doorbell goes. I go downstairs, having been woken up from a deep sleep. There's a cab driver there. He says, I've just let your son in, and he said he'd bring me the money. So I said, no, he's not here. And he said, no, he's definitely here. So I said, you'll have to wait there. So I shut the door. I went up to your bedroom. You were literally sprawled across the bed on your face, sprawled. So I tried to rouse you and wake you up, and you just wouldn't, literally would
black out.
Yeah, black out. So I went back downstairs and I said, okay, how much does he owe you? And he said, that'll be £120. I said, don't be ridiculous, £120. He said, well, it was 60 quid from the fare. I said, well, where have you come from? And he mentioned somewhere over in Essex.
Yeah.
He'd come from Essex to drop you back to Putney. And he said, and he was sick in the back of the car.
Soiling charge. Yeah. £60 soiling charge.
60 quid for the soiling charge. So I said, okay, I'm not sure that I've got that kind of money here. And he said, well, you'll have to go to the cash point because I ain't moving until I get my money. So I thought, this is all getting very menacing. Anyway, I shut the door again and cobbled together. I mean, it was a struggle. There was bits of housekeeping and birthday money and things. I think I went into your piggy bank and got sort of 120 quid together with lots of change and things, which he wasn't pleased about. And then off he went on his merry way. I then went back upstairs, by which time you were literally not just black out, but sort of talking gibberish.
Had there been another soiling upstairs?
Thankfully not.
No.
But I did put you into the recovery position, because I don't want to leave you up there in extremis. The following morning...
Oh my God, there's more.
Yes, there is. The following morning, I said, Jack, what the hell were you doing in Essex last night? You said, I haven't been to Essex. I said...
So the cab driver was lying?
No.
He was lying, and
Definitely.
I probably hadn't even soiled his cab either.
You said the last thing you remember was
cab
being
drivers.
in a bar with a drink with a girl.
For Uber.
And the rest was history. You had no memory of anything after that.
I think this story's been embellished by the cab driver
100%
and now perpetuated by you.
100% not.
Do you want to know my final one for you?
I
It's
do.
a big one.
Okay.
This is the main one.
Brace yourself.
The thing that I find most annoying about my mother, 100%, inviting randomers to my gigs. I mean, the amount of people that you are able to invite to my comedy shows and the degrees with of separation. These people, and you never know who they are. I never have a fucking clue who any of them are, but they're there, and I'll come off stage, the O2, and you'll introduce me to them like they are family, like they are the closest people. You're like, Jack, it's Derek, and I'll be like, hello, Derek, and they always play along. They're like, Jack, so good to see you, and I'll be hugging this guy, and then I'll be talking for 10 minutes, and all I want to do is just have a drink. I've been on stage for 2 hours, and I'm talking to Derek, but he must be important. And then Derek will, go away, and you'll be getting the other one in. I'll be like, who is Derek? And you'll be like, he's the Amazon delivery man's brother. I was like, what? Yes, the Amazon delivery man, Roy, he's over there in the corner with his wife and 3 daughters, and that's his brother Derek, who's here with his grandfather, and then a couple of his friends from the football team, and then there'll be another one dragged in. This is June. Who's June? It's June. You know June, Tony the gardener's mother.
Can I just say?
And that will be every gig. That won't just be one date of the tour. Every night of the tour, it'll be like, welcome to the random show.
Can I just say, what you don't realise is I'm actually a filter system, because there could be hundreds more.
Oh, I bet.
And I filter them down.
If that's the filtration process, I love to see the ones that get turned away.
Okay, I'm telling you, it could be a lot worse.
I would.
Look, it's random act of kindness.
It's random
people
act
who are kind
of
to
no.
me, I like to
I know. I think it's amazing.
I think it's amazing.
I think it's commendable that you do it, and I'm always up for sharing a drink after my gig with the Binman's cousin.
Can I just say that I already have a spreadsheet for the next tour?
Oh my god!
It's already just working.
The amount of awkward conversations I'm going to have trying to work out who this person is. It's often thinking they're like close family. That's the thing, because you have to treat everyone like they're close family.
Yeah. It's very important to me that you're nice to the man who's just resprayed my bumper.
Is that a euphemism? And on that note, I think we're done. It's called Michael, mother. Michael, daddy.
Well, I walked into that one, didn't I?
I think